So I bought a new toy. It's literally just a toy. So what this is this is a Buford Bucket. Buford Buckets, I don't think the individual that was making them is making them any longer. So I have been told, I don't know, I haven't contacted him. I purchased this from a friend who upgraded tractors from a, basically he was using it on an X748 and a 318. And he bought a 2025R and no longer needed this unit right here. I have, for many years, basically kind of dismissed these little loaders. So I actually put my money where my mouth is at, and I bought this from him. He asked me if I was interested in buying it or if I knew anybody that was looking to buy one, and I told him that I would buy it. And so here it is. And I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and we're gonna give this thing a test, and we're gonna compare it to a 45, and I'm gonna let you decide on whether or not it's worth the money in terms of buying it. Now, this particular thing is not on the market anymore. It was never widely available. It was a kind of a single person production. The closest thing to this on the market now would be the little buck loader, which I don't even think that the little buck would really qualify as something like this. I think this is probably a little bit better designed than the little buck, and I'll get into that in future videos. Because I do have some particular concerns when it comes to the little buck loader and how it is designed, the safety of it, particularly with my experience operating the 45 loader on my X748. But anyway, this is what we're going to test. We have the mount. The black mount here is for the X series, and the green mount sitting here on the pallet in front is for the 318 or for 300 series. And we're actually going to test it out on both machines. That obviously means if you're a longtime viewer for my channel, I'm actually going to have to get off my duff and fix my 318, which I've been putting off for well over a year. It needs the valve adjusted, or I have to get one of the various 300 series in this building up and running to the satisfactory point of me actually being able to use it. And now that I'm sitting here looking at the camera, I'm looking past the camera and I'm looking at a 317 with an O&M engine in it, and I'm thinking that might be a pretty good deal right there. We might try it out on the 317, but then I just remember that the 317 has an oil leak. So we'll figure out something. But anyway, we're going to test this thing against the 45 loader. We're going to do various different tests. We have a pile of black dirt. We have some road base, what we call road base here in South Dakota. Basically, it's just kind of something you would use for a pad or things along those lines, driveway. You've seen me, that's what our driveway is made out of. And then at the same time, we also got 15 tons of river rock that we're going to use for a landscaping project for the garden. And so we actually need to put those out. We've got some dirt to move around, things along those lines. So I think I have enough projects to keep this busy. We're basically just going to it's going to boil down to time. Do I have enough time before it gets cold and the ground freezes to actually get all this content in? I don't know. To do this test, a couple things that I want to go ahead and mention that I've already thought about. I'm introducing this machine or this loader now, but I'm actually going to put it on the machine and I'm going to get some time in using it before I attempt to do the test. Now, obviously, I'll probably do a video of hooking it up, things along those lines. But before I do any type of test, I want to make sure that I can competently use this loader. I think, I may just go practice with it for a couple hours, running into piles and stuff like that, and just seeing if I can get the hang of it, because it's obviously going to be very, very different for me coming from a 45 loader to something like this. It's a mini loader. A couple things that I want to kind of test out this winter is I actually want to see how it moves snow, and at the same time, I want to see, lift capacity, stuff like that. Lift capacity is something that we can do when it's cold outside, so that's probably going to be one of the last videos I do. I do intend to sell this unit once I am done with all my tests. I simply don't need it. But I figure if I run around telling people that a 45 loader is better, or even a full-size CTC loader is better than a little loader like this, I probably should really put my money where my mouth is. That's why I bought this. I want to do those comparisons. And that's not to say this is absolutely useless, because it's not. There are a lot of people that are really, really happy with loaders like this. Just, if you use a 45 loader, you realize how much more capable, or how much more capable they are. So that's what we're going to do with this video, or with this series. It's going to be slow to start with, mostly because I need to get some time We'll probably do a video of me putting it on the machine, and then from there, it'll be several weeks until I actually get some practice with it. And we will kind of, once I feel comfortable with it, we'll actually get down to testing. Unfortunately, because it bolts onto the front of the X748, it will take me a little bit to take it on and off. So we'll probably do all the 45 loader tests, and then we'll do all of these tests. And so it might be across 2 different days, which is not ideal, but that's what we're just going to have to do depending on the situation. What I want you to do is I want you to tell me if you have one of these loaders or if you have a little buck loader, and by no means am I necessarily telling you that, or by no means am I saying that you made a bad decision by buying a little loader or something along those lines, but everything has a price point and everything has a functionality. And sometimes, you know, I want to know your experience because I've never run a little buck loader, I've never run a Buford bucket, but I have run a 45 loader, and I want to know what everybody's experienced, and then we're going to see if that holds true, and that's my opinion in the end. Hopefully, at the end, I can say, yep, they're much better than I originally thought, and great. Or we might find out that at the end, I'm going to say, yep, I'm going to stick with my opinion that a 45 loader is much better than a Buford bucket or any other type of mini loader. So get ready for it. If you have questions, comments, tests you want me to do, leave them in the comments below. Tell me your experience, if you have any experience, or if you've even switched, because I know a couple people have switched from Buford buckets and they have purchased 45 loaders. If you have that experience, drop what your opinion is in there, and I'll read all the comments and maybe respond to them, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.